We're live.
To the first meeting of 2026.
Happy New Year.
So Curtis had sent out the agenda. If someone would like to make a motion to approve it. Motion to approve. Is there a second? Sure. All those in favor? Opposed? No. All right, as I saw where Tori sent out the minutes, which was very helpful since I wasn't there, so kind of put Paige and Gary in the spot since I think you guys were the other two that were there. You had a chance to look over the minutes if there are any adjustments needed, or if not, I'll also accept a motion to approve those. That's right, so. Yeah.
Motion to approve.
Gary, would you like a second?
Second, yes, second.
Perfect. All those in favor? Any opposed? All right, over to Jonathan.
Right. Yeah. Need a clicker.
I am your clicker, Jonathan.
Right here.
Your manual clicker.
Oh, fantastic. He knows how to serve well. Awesome. Thanks everybody for being here. So actually, Curtis, we can go ahead and jump in. The financials we have got between savings in the operating account, just over 800,000 at the end of December. Good. Still just over 2 months, actually a little bit higher than where we were last month or end of November, which is good. Working to control cash flow towards the end of that sort of middle of the year point, because we will be turning these financials in to the bondholders soon, seeing what's what. Deferred revenue stayed the same. Like I said, 690,000 of that is still the EPA funds sitting in there. So now we can move on to our revenue figures. We're tracking pretty steady total revenue. Almost exactly half of our budgeted funding earned up to this point. And you'll see federal funding is still climbing pretty slow. It's about anywhere between $16,000 and $20,000 a month. That's our USDA funding that's still coming in. However, and Suzanne's not here to tell us this, we did submit our first 2 Title I claims, and they've been approved, so we'll get that funding here in the next couple of weeks. I don't have the exact figure right in front of me, but I can always get it to you if you have questions. And pretty typical state funding is a majority. Those percentages are very, very similar to the previous month. So we can jump into our expense analysis. And really, total year to date is 3.2 million. Our year to date net income improved slightly from the end of November, which is good. As I mentioned before, instructional spend, the district likes to see that above 51%. We're decreasing a little bit, so we may need to focus a little bit more on instructional spend as opposed to administrative costs. Working on a plan with that. And then something to be mindful of as well, our tech spend. And that's between tech services, tech supplies, and tech capital outlay. We're at 69,000, and we have our new budget at 45. Just something to keep an eye on as we continue moving forward. So now, Chris, I'm going to go to our metrics.
Hey, hold on 1 second. Is there any additional tech spend for the rest of this year, since we're already over budget by more than $20-some thousand? Are there additional tech spends expected for the rest of the year?
So there are not any capital hardware, but as Jonathan outlined, if that's including services, we do have services through Sharp and other contractors that we work with that we will have to pay throughout the year.
So we need to adjust the budget to reflect that. Would you agree, Jonathan?
I'm working on rest of the year projection. So, once I sort of nail that down, I can establish where do we need to cut, do we need to trim anything, and how do we get from, January 15th to a 1.2 at the end of the year? We want to make sure that we're in compliance with the debt service covenant that we have. And so my projection will take all of that into account, including the monthly recurring expenses that we're expecting. And any places that we may be able to cut back a little bit. And I'll be in communication with the school about, ways that we can move forwards in.
Thank you.
You got it.
When do you expect that to be done?
By the end of next week.
Oh, okay.
I've been working on it the past couple of weeks.
Okay.
I took 2 weeks off to rest.
Oh, no, that wasn't, it was more of like is that a February thing
No,
or, okay,
I anticipate it at the very latest, the end of January.
okay.
Yep, so.
So
so
we'll have
the
time to
board can
review and we can
expect
look
to
at
be
it in
updated
February.
At our
Yes.
next meeting, absolutely.
Perfect.
So, as I mentioned, cash looks pretty strong towards the end of the month. It's when we get our end of month funding. That's a good thing. Days cash on hand is still sitting. I think last month it was 60.9. This month it's 61.6, roughly the same. And you know, as we move along through the fiscal year, our trailing 12-month calculation will drop off those one-time items. So without the one-time items included, we're at a 1.24. So still in compliance, just slightly above, which is another reason why I want to ensure we're working through this projection to be very confident that we're going to hit, not just hoping that
Yeah.
we're going to skate by.
Mhm.
Because go for it.
If I remember right, for our covenants, we have to December 31st submit days cash on hand, and then June 31st, it's days cash on hand and debt service coverage ratio.
I'm not certain of that off the top of my head.
Okay.
When we do our monthly submissions, we submit both.
Oh,
Just on an ongoing basis.
Yeah.
But what the what the bondholders see is actually the higher value on the finance packet. So, be a 1.52.
Yeah, okay,
So what the bondholders will see is the 1.52 because they look at a true trailing 12-month as opposed to me pulling out the one-time items for the
Yep.
sake of the board's clarity.
Yep.
We can move on to debt service. Thank you, Sarah.
Yeah.
Year-to-date debt service, 866,000. So I mentioned I accrue about 65,000 in bond interest every month. That way there's not a huge swing in net income come payment time. And as I've mentioned, we're at a 1.24 without those one-time items in, so we want to see if we can push for any sort of local contributions. Curtis, I know you made an adjustment to the amount we expect for contributions. I know we're not quite to that number yet, so if we can push for any of those, local businesses who want to donate to the school, whatever that looks like, we need to do that, absolutely. And then as the federal grants are approved, titles 2 through 4 and IDEA, I'll be working with Suzanne to get those claims submitted for reimbursement. There's a lot of them are like IDEA is salaries for special education teachers, and those have already been expended, so we can just earn the money back.
Yep.
On funds that we've spent. So
federally, it's looking like now those will be approved. I know it was
Yes.
dicey for a minute.
yes, so Title I's already been approved. That's what I've just claimed. IDEA, the funds have already been set aside for the schools. We just submitted the budget to show what the school anticipates spending. So we should have and we may, my computer's just not connected to the internet. We may already have the approved grant, and I can start claiming as soon as we have that.
Okay.
As I mentioned before, we're at a 61.6 days cash in hand. We'll just keep focusing on covenant compliance. It's not looking so big. It did it last. Did you? You did. Okay, so like I said, timing is always happening. Sorry. It threw me off last month too. I don't know what it is. It's gotta be my fault. Yeah, timing is always a big thing. So we're trying to mitigate the risk of timing by accruing the income, or accruing the expenditure of the interest on the bonds. We wanna sort of keep our eye on the ball there and not be really surprised when it comes in. Again, we're focusing on the debt service coverage ratio without the one-time items, so we're able to see a truer picture of where the school actually is, which is why I'm happy to see that the school is above 1.2 even there. And then I'd say the biggest thing is folded. I want the school to push focusing on one-time local donations, and then Suzanne and I will collaborate to claim those fiscal 25 funds as the grants finalized and funds are spent. And yay, federal funds are being approved as we speak. So, I mean, any day now for Titles 2 through 4 for us to be able to start claiming those funds. So, I did have a couple of questions, maybe for you, Curtis, since you're operationally here. I noticed that we can always take these types of things offline, but we've got student fees, about 20,000 student fees that appear not collected. We've got 98% remaining in that budgeted amount. Is there a plan to collect those fees?
Yes, a lot of those will come in towards the end of the year. I think
Okay.
there's like, end of year trip.
Okay.
Fees and things like that.
Okay, great. And then I wanted to ask about enrollment and wait lists, and I'll probably follow up in an email about that as well, because that is one of the quarterly requirements for me to submit to the bondholders.
Yes, that'll be Rachel, but we can get that to you today.
Absolutely. I'll send a follow-up email about that.
Yeah.
But big exciting. We didn't spend anything on legal this month. So we're really moving forward. It's great. So, any of y'all have any questions for me? Stan, you're included in that.
What are the fees for that you're referring to? In regards to not collected, you went in and out, so I didn't hear the whole part. I apologize.
Do you wanna go? It's a pupil activity, income that is budgeted at about $20,000, and so far I've earned $315.
What is it for? What does that mean? People like a field trip or something?
So it's those fees will be mostly for trips, but we also, that'll be, our end of year trips that our students pay for.
Gotcha.
A lot of that will come in as those.
Gotcha. Okay, that makes sense. Sorry.
Donovan, if I look in the financials, there's 315 for student fees with that $20,000 budget, but then there's almost 12,000 in field trips. So I think maybe that 12 should go there.
It
It's just
should
in a
be.
different line.
Miscoded to you.
Yeah.
So, thank you for pointing that out. Yeah, absolutely. I mean, it was simply just exciting questions, and always the hope for the school to bring in a lot more money.
Yes.
So, have any other questions? Say the nays have it.
Yeah.
Awesome. Thank you, guys.
Thank you.
We'll enjoy the rest of your evening.
Bye, stay warm. Alright, I'm not sure Paige, Darian, who's doing mission minute this time, but
Oh, yeah, I'll go ahead and do that.
Okay.
This year, this happened on December 19th, and two events happened that day. One was, I guess, an epic focus on special education. This is where the students had interactive projects, interactive presentations, and different activities ongoing to build sympathy and not sympathy, but empathy and learning, empathy and understanding and respect for those individuals who have unique abilities. So that was pretty cool. My wife's company kind of focuses on that, the interactive aspect of that. So she was here help with that, so that was awesome. And then we had, for the 4th and 8th grade, the epic was for all the entire school body, student-wide, but, 4th and 8th graders were able to take part in future career pathway. You know, so, they had an opportunity to, we had speakers come in and talk about, you know, gauge students' interests, and, they got the opportunity to, just talk about different things they were interested in, was construction, plumbing, and things like that, so, yeah. You got that, yeah, yep.
Great job.
That's awesome. Thank you. Curtis,
Sweet. This is principal's report. Okay.
yes, principals report, thing calendar, Findus.
Gotcha. All right. Good evening, everybody. Thank y'all for being here tonight. Gonna jump into our principal's report, starting with our instructional department. So we do our fall, winter, and spring testing using the iReady testing platform. And so this is it to measure our students' growth. And we try to, you know, we try to plan things for our students to do as they reach their goals. One thing that we planned this year is a silent disco that will be happening on January 30th for our students that meet their winter iReady goals. And so 80% of our K through 2nd students reach their goal. 68% of our 3rd through 5th grade students will reach their goal, and 78% of our 6th through 8th students will reach their goal. So, so we try to incentivize our students to, you know, grow. So we're really excited about that. We saw actually a tremendous amount of growth from fall to winter on our testing. And so we are really excited. This is a curriculum change that we did with both math and ELA for the school year. And they both are more attached to our testing. And then they're also attached to our end of year testing, which is SC Ready. So we feel a lot better about these curriculum changes as they're preparing our students. And we're not a school that teaches to the test, but we do want our students to be prepared to do their best on those things. So we're really seeing the results of our curriculum changes.
Curtis, what is a silent disco?
Silent disco is so.
That's a good question.
It's like where you wear headphones.
You wear headphones, so all the students, there's a company that comes in and all the students get headphones.
Okay.
And they dance, and so if you're just there, you don't have set headphones, it's just silent. And so they can just hear
Yeah.
you. Yeah.
I also don't know if it's like different, like you can pick from like 3 songs and it'll change colors, like you can
Yeah.
be dancing to different songs.
Yes. So it'll be interesting to see kindergarten, 1st and 2nd grade students.
Yes, it will.
Yeah.
To different songs at one time.
Yeah.
Also in the instruction department, our kindergarten through 5th grade teachers will be starting a new math initiative. And so on about once a month, our students will be doing an hour of differentiated learning. This will start on February 6th. And so this is kind of where it's like not grade level dependent. So it's more like where you are skill level wise. And so for instance, if you are maybe 2 grade levels behind, you will join a group with students that are in a similar spot. And then you will have interventions with someone. And this is where our school is kind of all hands on deck. So anybody that can take a group of students is going to take a group. Leadership, support staff, teachers, SPED, everybody will have a group. So it's kind of condensing our school into these small groups. They feel, our coaches are very excited about this opportunity to be able to do this. And it's driven through our curriculum also. So, yeah, and this will hopefully happen until the end of the school year. And finally, from the instruction, we have currently 17 field trips that have been scheduled that are already lined up for this spring. And so you guys know our school is built on getting our students out into the community and this expeditionary learning. So I already have our 17 field trips and more to come. So we're really excited about that. Switching a little bit over to development. So we are doing our 15 Years of Lead campaign, annual giving campaign. And for this fiscal year, towards our 60K goal, we've raised 95%. And that's all external giving. And for our internal giving, our goal was $35,000 and we reached 84% of that we have reached. Some of the internal things include our pop fundraiser, our swag sales, our dress down days, those types of things. And so a lot of that has been driven by Sarah Mitchell, who's head of our development. So really excited and seeing a lot of awesome things happening while she's been in that role. In food, so as you all know, we give free breakfast and lunch, and we've been targeting some of our grants to help supplement some of the expenses that we take on providing that for our students. So far this year, we've gotten 2 grants that total $20,000, and we've talked about some of these before in some of our previous meetings to support our food here at Lead Academy. And we're also launching a new initiative to try to track our alumni from Lead Academy as they leave here and go to high school. We've learned that our donors are very interested in this as we have been having conversations, and we have realized we haven't done a good job of tracking where they go in their progress. And so Sarah's created some forums and different things to better track our students. We're also getting in touch with guidance counselors at high schools that not only track where they are, but how they're progressing. And some of the things that we're interested in are kind of hard to measure. Suzanne used to work at Next High School, and she said she would often see our lead kids come, and she said they would just stand out. You could tell that they were different. They were very well spoken. They just had a different drive. They could advocate for themselves better. But these things are hard to measure, right? So you can't really, put that into just a metric. So we're trying to also decide what we're looking for and how we're gonna measure that to be able to show that. So Sarah's been working on that initiative.
Well, I think that's also good for recruiting as well.
Yes.
As we go out and recruit, we can tell those what our students have done and where they're going. So,
Yeah. So we talked about that in our last little one-on-one development meeting. So we're trying to work to better track our students. Finally, from development, funding for our clubs. So we have chess club here, and I've done chess club traditionally. I'm really excited to do it again. I'm not really good at chess, so it's actually kind of interesting that I do the chess club, and I'm not very good. So our students, they become better than me very quickly. And so one of my goals is to try to get a chess coach of some sort to come help our students. I reached out to a group, the name leaves me now. Somebody should have gotten an email about it today.
So yes.
Did you get one?
Uh-huh.
Let's see if I can find it.
My husband's a big chess nerd.
Is it?
He is. I don't know if he-
Please have them come.
I don't know if he would. I can ask him.
Think
Think
Move,
Move Chess
Yes.
Academy.
Think Move Chess Academy. So they've reached out before, and we weren't able to partner with them, so we reached out to them again. They typically charge like individual fees for students, which I didn't really want to do that because I was like, that kind of limits who can participate. So I asked them if we could just if it was possible to just pay like a school fee, just like a flat rate for a coach, and then just let whoever wants to come. When I met with them, the person was telling me actually they have some grant funding that somebody who died left them money, and they got to choose 2 schools, and they just decided that we would be one of the schools that they chose to do this with. So we have our chess partnership that's fully funded for free. So as many students that would like to participate can participate for free. They're driving the whole program. They're providing a coach. You get a subscription to like an online chess platform. They're going to be encouraging tournaments. They talked about maybe doing a tournament here, hosting a tournament here. So really excited about some awesome opportunities with Think Move Chess Academy.
I think they have the opportunity to be rated too.
Yes. And our coaches are also highly rated that will be getting something. Really excited. So
cool.
yeah. So I'm glad our students can be better, a lot better than I'm able to take them. Also, our robotics program is also fully funded through Mission Robotics. So they've been working with our school. I think this is the second year, they've worked with our school. And at our last robotics competition, they actually won an award. Did you talk about, I think you might have mentioned that last meeting.
We did talk, yeah.
Yes. And so, really appreciative to our clubs and all the volunteers that help our students and that are funding our clubs. And we're also finding that we're big on clubs and we try to offer as many as possible. Because, we're seeing that students who are involved in those clubs tend to retain and they come back the next year. And so clubs, after school, athletics, we try to get our students involved and connected as much as possible, to get that retention piece. So that's all from development. Our sped department, going back to some of our iReady data, our sped department, which includes sometimes students who don't receive technical like IP, special education services, but sometimes students that just get like extra interventions throughout the day. We've reduced the number of students that were in intervention from fall to winter due to the growth in those iReady test scores. So that's really awesome. That's what we want to see. And we kind of identify our students for those interventions through those scores. And so if they reach a certain percentile, we either say identify them and say, you need interventions, or say you reach this percentile, you get to exit. So we've seen a reduction in our intervention students, which is great.
So that would be just for, so I make sure I understand, not IEPs, like there's not something, they're just behind. and so they
Yes,
need-
yes. So you might have students that are just off grade level, but they have not been diagnosed with a disability and don't receive services. So,
Okay.
but yeah. From our parent community department, we have our hands-on lead day, which is a day of service that we do here at Lead Academy on MLK Day, where we have community service projects. So this year we're doing it a little differently. We will not only have service projects here on campus, but we are partnering with 7 organizations that our students can choose to go and get community service and participate in community service around the community. So this is actually an important day because some of our, especially like our younger students, K2, struggle to get their community service hours. A lot of community service projects require you to be at least 11-ish. And so we end up trying to create a lot of in-house opportunities for our younger students, which they aren't required to get as many hours as our older students. But this is a big day and a big opportunity. And then MLK Day is set aside for service. So we want to, in that spirit, to be able to provide service opportunities for our students. So along with that, total, our school has completed 1,200 hours of community service. So we're really proud of all the hours that have already been completed. We have our first semester awards days. So last week we had our kindergarten through fourth grade awards day. And tomorrow we'll have our 5th through 8th grade awards day. And so if you are perusing on Facebook, you can see pictures of some of our students receiving their awards. So this is part of our goal setting. So we want to recognize our students right now, but we also want everyone to see, so we can also encourage our students to goal set to the end of the year to try to receive one of those awards. So kind of dual purpose there. Enrollment for the 26-27 school year is open. One thing to highlight, Rachel has mentioned that we have 14 kindergarten students that are already registered, which is awesome. That's that has been historically one of our harder grades to fill. So we're about a quarter of the way there. So hopefully we'll max it out. Lastly, sorry, it's kind of a long way. We hold mid-year reviews with our staff every year. This is December, January is our mid-year review season. And we've done it differently over the years. This year has been more of a performance evaluation type of meeting. And so the staff evaluate themselves, and then we give feedback, and then we kind of goal set for the rest of the school year. So those have been going well. And then this time of year, we send out intent to return forms for our teachers to begin planning for next school year. I don't have exact numbers. I would say we probably have about 80% of our return intent forms back, and all of them are saying that they would like to come back next year. And so that is encouraging as we, we know how important retention is.
Mhm.
Encouraging and also reflecting for you guys, so.
Yes,
Congrats.
yes, thank you, we're trying. And, that's the end, the principal's report.
Thank you, Kurt.
Thank you,
sir.
sir.
Thank you.
Calendar.
So this is just a draft of our school calendar, for next school year. This will have to be board approved. Still have some days that we would like to flesh out. Some important things to note, so we are proposing that our start day will be on August 6th. Which is different from Greenville County. Their first day is on August 11th. It's two different like thoughts of why we're choosing this. The pro is that, starting on the long week is miserable. So we feel like this sets our teachers up to plan, and be more prepared, for a short week. We're also considering, the state encourages a staggered start for kindergarten students. Because we have to benchmark test them all, and it's really difficult to do that with children who've never been in school before, or don't know how to really function. And so staggering them, which will mean like having about half of your class come in on one day, and then the other half will come in on that Friday, and then they all come in on Monday. Gives us to kind of test them in smaller groups, get them a little more acclimated to the classroom in a smaller group, those types of things. The con is a lot of our families are somehow confused and believe that we just automatically start the same day as Greenville County. And so it has created some alarm, especially as we are depending on those fifth day numbers when, 30 kids that show up on the Greenville County first day. So I think that's just the other thing to think about as we're trying to make this decision. Everything else is pretty much exactly like Greenville County's schedule.
Yeah, but
Um,
surely we can fix that with communication, right?
w- Hopefully, like, we felt like
Mhm.
this
Yeah.
is probably about the third or fourth
Yeah.
year that we've done it, and we
Yeah.
we thought we were over communicating, and it still
It still worked
happened.
out.
Yeah, so we're gonna go back to see what more we can do to just kind of get the word out.
Right.
Or just maybe preparing for that, and maybe having a team of people that's just like ready to call and make phone calls that on that day and things like that to check on families. Yeah, everything else is the same. The only other thought is we do, what's called student-led showcases. They are not like traditional school days. And so they don't technically count as part of your 180 days. And so we're exploring whether we want to just call that a PD day. There are these like waivers that you can apply for with the state. You can talk about this day and how important it is to your school, and it's like innovation. You're making a case for innovative learning. It's a stretch, but we can go that route. So we're still trying to explore the 2 SLS days that we have and making our numbers. So you have to have 180 school days. You have to have 3 professional development days. And then you have to have all of these, like, if you max out your e-learning days, you have to have these like makeup days built in. So right now, this complies with all of that. And we still have some days to work with. Like I mentioned, with the calendar is exactly like Greenville County's, with which they started on the 11th. So we're going back to the 6th. So we actually have about 3 days to of wiggle room.
When does Greenville County get out of school in May?
The same, the 27th, the 26th and 27th are half days.
I will say from a parent feedback this year, the SLS right next to a half day going into break was hard.
Okay, that's good information.
More, at least for me in figuring out like who's gonna watch my kids and where they go. It's easier if they don't go at all or if they go full. So like coming in for part for the SLS and then the 7 to 11.
So we have thought about doing the SLS just during the school day and not
Mhm.
setting a special day aside for everyone. And so what that would look like is maybe fifth grade would be on Monday, and then you would come in at maybe 9 o'clock. But it would kind of be like whole school, like a whole class driven, so it wouldn't be as intimate.
Yeah,
And then your student will just kind of do it with you one-on-one.
Yeah.
And then, maybe you could do another grade in the afternoon. Parking and things can kind of get weird if you do too many at one time.
yeah,
That's the benefit of the whole day and just kind of staggering it out, is you can't really do whole school events here and have enough parking for
Yeah.
everybody. That's kind of difficult, but. So yeah, we're still exploring the SLS
Yeah.
idea, but that's good feedback. So
or
We-
if you've got the extra day, just do the SLS and drop the half day.
yes, which
Yeah.
yeah, there are a lot of opinions in the room. We're having calendar discussions, and it's just fascinating what's important to people. Some people would like to use those 3 days to shave off those 3 days at the end and get out a little sooner.
Right.
Some people would like to flex those days around to help free up these SLS days.
Mhm.
Some people like to start on the 11th.
Yeah,
It's fascinating. So hopefully we'll have a finalized version of this by next board meeting.
Okay.
Yep.
To vote on. And then we'll have to submit it to the district and they'll approve it and then stay on. So if you have any questions, please let me know as you look through it. And that's the calendar.
thank you.
You're welcome.
Yes, I also appreciate that. Last but not least on your agenda, the bus.
Yes.
Yeah.
All right, so, we have $690,000 given to us by the federal government for our electric buses. We are about $100,000 short for the buses, about $60,000 short for the charging stations. And so we have, our donor, who has agreed to do a donor match for broad of anything kind of in the enrollment category. The way that we proposed our need was just enrollment and the bus was part of enrollment. So we are trying to plan for a possible plan B. So about $54,000 gets us enough to have a match to go ahead and put in an order for the buses. The concern is, we have to do this by May, or if we don't reach the May deadline, then that would be us giving the $690,000 back to the federal government, which we don't want to do. And so some thoughts that we were considering is if we were not able to raise the total amount, and this is the board discussion, we were considering, could we use our repair and replacement fund to then cover the remaining costs of the buses? And if that's not a viable plan B, then when we were exploring purchasing a bus over the summer, Chance, who is the president of Copper Financial, suggested this a revolving loan that he has known schools to receive for, I guess, a variety of things. Would that also be an option to look into something like that to help supplement the rest of the funding to hopefully not let the 690 go away? Yeah. Sarah's writing a grant. We're going for the Greenville Women's Giving Grant for the charging station. And so that is also some funding that we're looking for to help. And then she's also reaching out to some former donors. We have a video that's going out to our parents that can hopefully maybe connect us to some folks that can help us reach our goal, so.
How much is that repairs budget line that you were?
We don't see those accounts, so they're like emergency funds.
Is that what you were asking if? we
The
could
repair
use-
replacement, yes,
Yeah,
I don't think those live in the monthly financial budget.
okay.
See if it's on the. I'll look for both, if we explore repair and replacement. And or the loan. Both of those options would require bondholder approval to use them for that purpose. Which we have gotten, I feel like the loan, honestly, I think the loan would be tricky, like taking on more debt. We have in the past gotten approval to use the repair and replacement for bus repairs and stuff, and so I think it might be a stretch, but also knowing the bondholders, like on our call, they were asking about enrollment, and I think that's a more, if we can't raise the money, which I'm hopeful we can, I feel like that's a more likely option, if it's here's the grant, here's the shortfall, we feel like this is going to help with enrollment, like, it's
Yeah.
a good narrative
Yeah.
versus just,
It's quite
We want
literally a
this.
replacement. It's-
yeah,
It
Yeah.
is.
And very sustainable and sets them apart.
yes.
It is, it will help our school tremendously in the enrollment category. And it also, it's just an awesome, I think, a PR opportunity. We would be the only charter school in the state to have received these electric buses.
See it run around Greenville.
Right.
How cool is that?
So I think that's also a great attractive thing, knowing that and I think it goes right along with our school and a clean initiative and what we're all about, so. I think we should just try to do whatever we can just to not allow the 690 to go back
Yeah.
and to get the buses.
And is it, the actual deadline is the end of May?
Yes.
Mhm.
Now, there are in the fine print of the grant, you can request extensions.
Okay,
But we don't want to put our, hope in that.
No.
So,
I would actually love to see us impose our own deadline of like 30 days before,
Well, that was Sarah's thing too, of giving us so much.
push for it.
Yeah.
By, like, let's say we want to make our order by the end of April.
Yeah.
And then. Yeah. make it.
repair and replacement is a pretty quick turnaround, so. I would say if you put in a request, it may be 2 weeks and they'll approve it, and it works. It's weird. It's like our emergency fund, that they'll cut us a check from our account,
Who is they? The
Uh,
district?
the bank, the
US Bank,
US
where the
Bank.
bonds
Oh.
are, yep. There is currently a little over $91,000 in repair and replacement.
Oh.
And so it also, so it looks like a wash, because they code that check as revenue, even though it came from the repair and replacement account, so it's like that, the
Yeah.
expense kind of
Yeah.
washes. So,
And then how does that fund get replenished?
We have to put a certain, like, we have to replenish it.
Are we doing that like as a part of our annual budget?
it's like a formula, yeah, so it's a formula in,
I see.
whatever we pay, I guess it's calculated in maybe the bond payment or something, maybe it goes.
It's like
Into that.
the,
So is there I'm serious, like, is there a downside in just saying, let's take 50 grand of that and get this done?
would it count, that's my question, if we take it from the repair and replacement, would it count towards the match, or would we have to do the?
I asked Sarah the same question,
Ah.
and we don't know, so we're not clear on that.
Yeah.
That's
very-
Yeah,
It's a good
that's the
question.
thing, yeah.
So she's gonna get clarification on that.
Yeah.
I'm not sure if that counts, but I was like, hey. But we'll see.
Okay,
That is, yeah, that's an interesting thought.
Do we know how much we've raised so far, if any?
We have not raised much, so we've only done
You know, the
in-house
sweatshirt.
thing, the
Yeah.
sweatshirts, we've only raised about $1,000 from that, which that will be matched.
2,000.
Yes.
2,000.
She is reaching out to one of our anonymous donors that gave earlier this year to see if he's willing to give again.
Okay.
And so,
So the match amount is how much?
it's up to 100,000.
Okay.
Couple thoughts, because I'm not opposed to repair and replacement as a resort. It'd be an extra expense, but if we are not opposed to wrapping the buses, that I think could be super cool.
What do you mean?
Like graphics around them. I know locally E-Media can do it. Like I said, it would
Okay.
be an extra expense, but I think with that, there could potentially, I mean, I wouldn't like Lead Academy would need to be the biggest.
Yeah.
But there could be some company sponsorship opportunities if
Yeah,
you wrap it to
yes.
put some logos on there.
And we've actually had a lot of success with graphics companies helping us with some donations. The Falcon that's out here on the gym window.
Yeah, that was E-Media.
Was a gift.
Mm.
And so, yeah, I don't think, those things will be hard, but that was another, giving idea, by Sarah, was thinking about, if you give maybe a small, like, logo on the back of the bus, and like, this bus was powered by
Mm.
these organizations or companies,
Yeah.
Mm.
for different prices. Also using the front, the fence area for things like that. So,
Mhm.
we're trying to get a kickback of
Mm.
marketing here,
Yeah,
things
yeah.
like that, and even marketing on the bus itself.
Yeah.
Mm.
So,
Yeah, I'd look in, because I know there's companies that will sponsor, like basically pay you to wrap your own vehicle
okay,
for it, and so
Mm.
I think like there's gonna be some PR, like, I'm gonna say when, not if, when we get the electric buses, like, there's gonna be some PR opportunities, and so I think from a local business, like, both the PR around the bus, and then it's not just like, there's a lot of traffic out there, so the fence is great, but like, these buses are moving, so
yeah,
I think there's gonna be a ton of potential visibility that we should try to sell.
I would say just be mindful that since we're using our buses for routes, there's like a lot of it has to be yellow. I think that's just a compliance thing, so, I'm not sure how,
I've seen white buses.
yes.
But they want it, has to be yellow.
If you're doing routes where you're going to pick up children from their homes or
Yeah.
stop points that have to be majority yellow.
Yeah, okay.
But there are some,
Yeah, that
a
makes.
little bit of freedom, but I think there's some rules around how yellow it has to be.
Yeah.
Mm.
So that would be just something to keep in mind.
Just for clarification, Curtis, the 54,000, we need to raise that so that we can get it matched and give us 108, or if we could get 27 and it gets matched, we're at 54 and
No,
we're
so
good.
we need the 54 or the 108.
Yeah.
Got it.
Are the buses metal, magnetic?
Yes,
Or could it be like?
magnets. We talked about that too.
Even if it's not a bus, like a route, if it's a field trip, you could just.
Yep. Slap it on there.
cheaper.
And you could resell it.
Yeah, you can sell it.
Like,
This
sponsor
field
the rest
trip
for the
is
year.
a full
Yeah.
day,
And
so
how long
that
does it take
magnet
to
is
go?
more expensive.
Yeah.
So they
Should be
quote
paid.
like 9 to 12 months, because they
Yeah.
have to they make the bus from
Okay.
scratch.
It's like that.
Oh, yeah.
It's not.
So that would be a very front-loaded investment.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah,
you wouldn't
right,
see
yeah.
your name for a year or more.
Yeah,
Yeah, but it
Yeah.
would be a thing where like, once you have all the people who donated, you could have a mailing list and send an update once a month, be like, hey, here's where the bus is at in progress.
Mhm.
Mhm.
Oh, 1 month in, the tires are being made.
Yeah. I was like, you can still have PR around it.
And the older
Like-
buses, you're gonna sell
Oh,
apart?
yeah, definitely.
So with this grant, you have to exchange it.
Exchange it, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So, and talking to our bus dealer, he said, it don't matter if you tow it to us.
Yeah.
We'll take it.
Okay.
So I was like, yes, because that one doesn't work.
Yeah, that one at the bottom of the hill.
Yeah,
One thing I had suggested to Curtis, just for board so we can keep up, and I think, after development meeting, if the company sponsorship takes off or has any weight, but because we're in a tighter timeline, if like every other week, if we can get an email update of like, hey, we're at 2,000 of the 54, just kind of
Mhm.
um
Mhm.
benchmark, that would help me just kind of be adjusting versus waiting monthly.
If no other, that is the board discussions. I don't know if that's like an official vote, or if we just know by April that we just repair replacement, submit a request for the difference. Is that,
I think we keep, if we can get updated on where we are fundraising wise, and I think if we keep talking about it, it's
Okay.
probably, if we want to purchase it in so if we lose it in May, so we want to purchase it in April, then I think we're probably voting on which way we're going in March. So that we have time for like repair and replacement approval.
We would say, is it one of those things where you go ahead and say, yeah, we'll do it if at this point, and then,
Well, I think the big question that we don't have answered is, will we still get the match with repair and replacement? So
and can you ask the bondholders and be like, hey, there's a chance. But maybe not.
we want to like ruin goodwill.
Like, temp- wow.
I don't really think there's a chance, but I think that making budget adjustments is probably the sure bet way to make this happen if you really want it. But I think all these other options may be tough when it's all said and done.
So if it's not the match, if it's like repair and replace and budget adjustments, we need 108.
yes. And I would say, I think it could be game changing if our donor says
Right.
the,
This don't,
whatever, if the school gives as much, she will match it.
that's,
Yeah.
that would be great.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So I think that's an important piece of information to learn.
And I think from
and
a,
we should know that pretty soon.
Yes.
yeah, and I think if you can, work with Jonathan from a budget, perspective as well, because I know it affects days cash on hand as far as coming out. I don't know the magic formula for capitalization as far as debt service coverage ratio, so I think if we could have some projections on that too.
With the addition of the buses, how does that affect capital?
Yeah, that's when it starts to feel like monopoly money for me, and I'm
Yeah.
very grateful for accounting people. All right, well, thank you, Curtis. We didn't have an official finance committee, but just as an update of things that are coming later, so Curtis and Lee have started to work on the fiscal year 2026 to 2027 budget, and so Stanton and myself, probably Copper, we're gonna be meeting at the end of this month to start taking a look at that. So it is my goal for the board that we'll have kind of several viewings so that we can talk about it before we have to officially vote. So that process is in progress. And Bill.
Just piggybacking off of what Curtis was saying, any and all opportunities we have to get in front of people for, Curtis and Sarah, Joel. To share about LEAD and the work that we're doing here is great opportunity to get donors or people who know people who are willing to donate to go towards that matching grant. To get the buses is always a good opportunity. It could be if someone's willing to host a cocktail party or brunch, just people who would want to take a tour of the school for whatever reason, and it turns into a conversation about a donation. Like, anyone and everyone is a good opportunity to be in front of someone. I think last month I kind of made the joke about like, all like how many like connections or different movies and like celebrities away from Kevin Bacon, you know that joke? Like, how many connections are you away from someone who is a good enough connection to have the right conversation to raise a little bit more money? And everything's doubled. So if your conversation is a $5,000 conversation, it's $10,000. Like, you know, so just keeping that in mind in the back of your head, it's not always a matter of like all of us doing the giving, but it's like, how can we get that? And get those opportunities for other people to have those conversations too. So whatever connections you have, it's a really cool time to
Mhm.
and then we have some grants to approve. There's just 3 this time, not the long list from last month. So I'll send you this list for you. There's 3 of them, so I'll read them and then we can vote. The first one is the SRC State Reading Grant for summer camps, Dollar General Literacy Grant, and then SCDE School Garden Grant. So we can have a motion to approve.
Motion to approve.
And a second.
Perfect. Those in favor?
Aye.
Woo! 9. None. Woohoo! I practiced last.
I like it. Good job. You're nailing it. Take over my job next time.
Thank you. Alright, that is all.
Well, perfect. Anything we need to go into executive session with? Perfect. Well, I will then accept a motion to adjourn. Of course.
There's a motion.
It's like-
Motion to adjourn.
All those in favor?
Oh, no.
You're about to make a very exciting. All those in favor? Anyone want to hang out? Nope. Okay,
Okay.
meeting adjourned.
I don't know why that happened.